Are you an indie podcast or content creator looking to reach a wider audience? Look no further. Introducing Podcasting, the ultimate podcast network designed to...
The content you're about to hear is a part of a paid programming segment. The views, opinions, and statements expressed belong solely to the sponsor and do not reflect those of Podcasting or its host. This segment is for informational and promotional purposes only and should not be considered as advice or endorsement. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey everybody, listen, it is Podtalk, y'all, the podcast about podcasts. And listen, I am Tam Telling Tales, one of your co-hosts, and I've got my crew in the building. We missing just one. They overdoing some work. Q, we miss you. But in the meantime, who I do have in the building is, say hello, Todd.
Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Podtalk.
And then we got Miles over there on the ones and the twos.
Yes.
What up, dog?
Chocolate Thunder is what they call me.
Do they?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I've never heard you call that before.
Strictly for the ladies.
Oh, okay. I still never heard you call that before.
You know, stop.
Okay. All right. Okay. But in the meantime, we are so glad that we are able to tune in with you all. We're a little bit early on this evening, y'all. Okay. So, you know, we done switch things up a little bit. We got a little bit more time with you. So we're so glad that you all are tuning in. Make sure that you share, like, and subscribe to Podcastic. Okay.
Yeah, yes.
And make sure that you're sharing this live because we've got a great topic for you all on this evening. So our topic for today is mental health and podcasting. Okay. Yeah. Super important. We hear that term all over the place nowadays, and it impacts everything. So we want to make sure that we kind of tackle it from a podcaster standpoint. But before we get into our topic for today, we have to talk about our current event. Okay. And so, you know, Todd usually handles our current event conversation. So take it away, Todd.
I got nothing. I haven't really been.
We can talk about BET Awards. BET Awards.
Okay, cool.
Just popped off on what, Monday?
Yeah.
Okay, so listen.
So I didn't watch it, but I did see a lot of like clips and different things. One of the things that did throw me off was you know who Casanat is? Mm-hmm. The streamer guy.
Yeah.
He didn't know who Wale was.
Okay.
And that threw me off. But what pissed me off even more, because I'm an avid listener of Wale, is how Wale handled it. So
yeah.
I mean, what happened?
He didn't know who he was.
So
he called him Wally and everything.
He called him Wally.
I was like,
okay,
oh,
he didn't know who he was. He was live streaming when Wale decided to say what's up to him, slap fives on him, whatever. So then I guess that was during the intermission. Then they get back to the whole situation where Casanat is now sitting down with Snoop, and Wale saw him. He said, "Hey man, your situation got me looking crazy online right now. You know, your live feed and all that." And I'm like, why would he do that right then and there during the BET Awards and Casanat sitting next to Snoop? That shit could have waited, or he could have ignored it.
Yeah,
you Wale.
Yeah, he should have been quiet because Kai. Now I will say this: it came off very innocent. He didn't know. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if you don't know, you don't know.
I don't even know who you're talking about. Who's Casanat?
Casanat is a streamer. He's a streamer. He's somebody who got popular off of just going live, playing video games, and talking shit.
And he's very popular.
Very popular. So
the short dark skin dude.
Yes, with dreads. Yes. Mm-hmm. So that guy. So Wale knew who he was, but Casanat didn't know who he was. Right. He called him Wally and everything. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, wow. How did you not know? You know who Drake is, but you don't know who Wale is?
I can see that though. Like Wale, you love hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You love like the music. You know what I'm saying? But you got a lot of people out here who just like the popular people. They like the pop hip hop. You know, and that's who they know. Right. Wale don't necessarily be outside like that.
I mean,
And at the time when Casanat came up, like Wale
was all
wasn't
about
really
Drake.
doing too much.
Casanat was just not.
But no, also too, you know, Wale, he's one of the artists that let his music speak for itself. He's not all in the press like that. He don't do interviews like that. You know what I'm saying? So he more of a low key guy until he's not, and that be the problem with that be his downfall a little bit when he does decide to be more public and outward. You know, he gets a lot of backfire because he handles things very emotionally. Yeah. And he shouldn't, you know, by him being who he is, he shouldn't. You know?
Can tell from his music he's emotional. Wale is one of like the only hip hop artists that I actually like purchased in the past. There's only a certain few because I'm more of an R&B girl, but Wale is one of them. But think about it, he kept R&B. He kept R&B alive for a long time though. When you think about all the hits that he got, he got songs with Usher, he got songs with Rihanna. Like he got some dope music out, but it just. And I'm one of them people. I like to separate the artist from the person. But it be kind of hard now. Like, I used to be able to be good at it. Like, I don't care what R. Kelly did. I don't care what this person did. Right. I used to be like that. But then when you see it for yourself and you be like, oh, yeah, it was cringy. Yeah,
you know?
It was. Poor Wale. He don't really have the greatest of social skills. No. But I've heard from people that have dealt with him from behind the scenes that he's maybe just a little socially awkward just in general. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, you know, there's that. And then of course Kai is young and he's a streamer. So what he knows is what's popular. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So he get a pass because he is who he is.
So do we really get a pass? Right. See, this is what I tell anybody.
He get a pass because
I don't expect him to know where to care. Casanat is like 20. No. I think he's like 23, 24. So there's no reason for him not to know at least something about Wale.
Here's what I've learned. When you're in business, you research your business. Yeah. And if you're going to be a commentator or anybody who's going to introduce people, at least know what you got coming up.
But he wasn't in a position where Wale was coming on his show. It was like one of them quick, we interacted
what's up, my
right
guy,
fast,
type of things.
Walking past. He didn't know who he was. I would imagine that if it was a circumstance where he was about to introduce him on the show and all that, then he probably would have known all of this.
He's the guy from
because his people got him together like real quick.
Let him know. Yeah, they let him know that's not his. They let him know his name is Wale. Wale.
Yeah, so he get a pass. He 20 something. He just got on the scene. Wale been kind of like in the cut doing good music, but just not being popular. He can get a pass for me. He probably knows the music. Like once somebody started playing it,
he probably did put a face to the music. That's what it was.
So I'm sorry. When it comes down to the entertainment business, I come from a genre to where you need to get that shit right. You cannot introduce Aretha Franklin to Shaka Khan. You cannot say Aretha. You know what I mean? You need to know your shit.
But Kai Cenat is not a hip hop streamer.
He should have been there.
He's not a hip hop streamer. But the BET Awards is not for just hip hop artists. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a streamer on the internet, and he's 20 something.
It was.
So if it's a hip hop BET Awards, he shouldn't have had his ass there.
It wasn't the hip hop.
Oh, it was just BET Awards regular. Okay, it was the BET
Awards. Regular BET Awards. All right. So
that's when the mental health and podcasting come along because I'm being very honest with you. I look at podcasting as a way of life now. It's not just I'm just gonna grab a microphone and whoop de woo. I want to know why I look so small on this damn screen. That's what I'm trying to fix. It was just like
it's like you need to pull the camera like down.
Or is it the chair?
Pull this down.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Wait,
I'm sorry, I was trying to get you together.
Just like my ex-girlfriend, always reaching.
Pull this down some. I'm trying to help you out. You want to make jokes.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
But I just think if you're in the field, you need to learn about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's not your thing, shut up. You know, just say, hey, my guy, what's up?
Yeah, but the problem was they were just in passing.
So what's up, my guy?
That's it. And left it alone.
And that's my guy right there. You know, and that's it.
Yeah.
Watching the interaction, he can get a pass. It was an honest mistake.
I think it was.
And Wale didn't have to handle it the way that he did.
And that's where I have the problem. I got more of a problem with how Wale handled it versus Casanat not knowing who he was.
So let's look at the disrespect that Wale have been getting for the past 5 years.
The disrespect has been his fault.
Oh, okay.
See, the disrespect that he been getting is because, okay, here's the problem. And J. Cole called him out on the song. What was it? False Prophets. The first verse was about Kanye. The second verse. The second verse was about Wale.
Kanye and Wale.
Yeah, because he was trying to say, look, dog, you got fans that love you, and you paying attention to all the negativity.
There we go. Okay.
And that's what Wale's problem has always been. He's quick to respond to a negative comment before he say, hey, I appreciate what you just said in a positive comment.
Gotcha.
So that's been his backlash.
Okay, I see that. So, but it's podcasters, right? Did you see anyone on the red carpet of BT?
Wait, say it again.
Oh yeah, I saw Cash Doll. I saw Bob.
Trash down.
Wait, you said, what was your question? I'm sorry.
He said, did he see anybody on the red carpet?
No, podcasters.
Oh, podcasters.
Oh, podcasters.
No. I didn't.
Let's see. You know what? I may be mixing stuff up because they had a whole weekend, like a BET experience.
Yeah.
But I know
Why we wasn't invited? I don't know. We gotta get on
Kendra
that.
G was there, and she was, doing some great stuff. I know the Breakfast Club, cause they kind of do their podcasting ish stuff, and then they had like some guests that were coming in and doing the podcasting segments, because they actually had like where you could sit down and do podcasting with somebody.
Yeah,
so like Tamar was there with somebody else, and they were at like an actual table that was specifically for being able to sit down and do them. So they had a great presence, I think, from a podcasting standpoint.
Okay. So the reason I say that because Afros and Audio is coming up,
Right.
October 16th through the 19th. They have some great tips for mental health and how to deal with certain things in podcasting. And I think everybody who's doing podcasting need to be there. We was there last year. I was there the last 3 years.
Yeah.
They have some great information. I just think people need to understand, like, podcasting is not going nowhere.
No, it's not.
And I think that's the problem. I think they just figured out the podcasting is not going nowhere no time fucking soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I mean,
think
once
people are embracing it.
Yeah, and again, like, as far as mental health go, this is therapy to a lot of people. It became my therapy before I realized, okay, this is bigger than me. But my startup was me listening to other people that I was familiar with already, people I was friends with, and they were pouring their heart out on their podcast, and I was like, damn, I'm like, they telling it all. This is probably good or therapeutic for them. All right, cool. I let my wife hear something. I was like, I think I might need to do this so I can get past my issues.
Right.
And that's kind of like how I got started. But I didn't expect it to turn out how it turned out. Like, I was just trying to have some type of therapy release. You know what I'm saying? Like, because obviously I could go to therapy all day, but it's different when you do the work for yourself. And podcasting was me doing the work.
Right.
Yeah, so...
Okay.
Yeah, for all of those who are just tuning in with us, guys, today's topic is on mental health and podcasting. So we've already gotten started and having our conversation about it. So thanks, Ty, for sharing that.
Yeah. I mean, I can honestly say podcasting saved my lives and probably some other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. For real.
Absolutely. Getting stuff off your chest. And it's interesting because I've watched people come in at the beginning of a podcast, and then by the time they get through it and they're talking about themselves and getting stuff off their chest, you can just see how lighter they actually look.
Yes.
Their whole demeanor changes because it definitely is therapeutic to be able to get into a space and feel comfortable getting stuff off your chest. I don't know if you guys recently saw the Cam Newton interview with the actor who played Bobby Brown. Wood hair? It's not Woody Harris, I don't think.
No, it's not. But I know you're talking about because he played in Power.
And he plays in Power.
Yeah.
And part of the reason why I wanted to say Bobby Brown not Power was because the segment that they showed of him where he just literally broke down and had to walk away.
Yeah, he had to stop the interview.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. So the topic came up about him, the perception that people had of him. He has the ability to act and do so many amazing things, but without even saying anything to a group of people, all they did was judge him. He was turned around, and then the people in the room were asked, what do you think about him? And they had all of these negative, derogatory things to say about him, and he literally hadn't done anything.
When he was in school. That's when he was in school.
When he was in acting school.
Yeah.
And then he turned around and he's like... I'm like, really none of those things,
right.
Yeah.
And so he had a moment where, it hit him. It hit him. Like, he had to walk off because he's just like, I'm I'm not this.
So what I believe happens is when somebody loves something, right? Mm-hmm. Like acting, and they love it for them. You know what I mean? Like when people love music for who they are, when they love it for what they do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like a Wale, right? Yeah. And when when Wale had hit records and all that, he was getting judged because Rick Ross was having something like Columbia, dope and all that. He wasn't like that. He was for the ladies. He had a lot of judgment going on with that. And I always said, like, he's going to catch the grunt of bad jokes.
Yeah, because I honestly think good music would have been a better fit for Wale versus Maybach music.
Yes.
Yeah, because Kanye, he not no gangster. You know what I'm saying? Big Sean ain't no gangster. No, right. So it was a good mix. It was a good mixed crowd.
I think Wale would have did better on good music.
Yeah,
I think he did.
He would have been great on good music. I think that would have been a better fit for him. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't have been, because you got to think. The forefront of MMG was Rick Ross, Wale, Meek Mill. Meek Mill, street rapper, Rick Ross, street rapper, and then he right in the middle. He not on that type of time.
And it's hard to lead on the concert for that too.
Right.
You feel me? So he need to, like, if I was him, I would grab October London and another medium rapper in between there and go on tour.
Yeah, that would have been a good look. Well, he had him. Well, he did actually have somebody else, but he let him go, or he left. It was a guy from Ohio that was actually really dope named Stally. But he let him go. Okay. So but it was that would have been good music would have been a better look for Wale. I think his career would have been a lot better.
We got a comment in the chat. Hey Calvin, super producer
what up,
Calvin.
Though?
So Calvin said podcasting helps shed light on men's mental health as well as killing the stigma around it, and I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. And you know what's funny about when it came down to me podcasting, it actually helped me heal. While I was already healing, it just amplified it.
Well, it was one guy who was doing podcasts in his bedroom, right? And he wanted to show how abusive his wife really was. She was cussing him all out, and he said, she don't even know that I'm doing a podcast about being abused as a man. These are things that I had to bring out to my family, so my family think I'm mean when I snap. You know what I mean? But I just snap, And I think a lot of these snapping videos coming across since the movie Straw has been released, everything is about snapping, you know what I mean? From abuse to children, to husband, to wives. And he was just saying, she was like, I don't give a what you doing right now? And she was going to say, that's the bullshit I'm talking about with your broker. I mean, she's going ham. And he said, these are the things why I don't do nothing around this house.
Wow.
But I understood it. It's like, it's a little bit too much.
Right.
Way too much. Shout out to Chef was the first person who made me realize that things is not always glitz and glamour.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, you don't know what's going on in nobody's house for real until you actually see it on video or hear it on film.
Exactly. And that's what I was trying to tell people this, man, because prior to my podcast, I was shutting up about what I had went through with my ex. So when I started talking about it, all they knew was what was being said on social media on her end. I tried to talk to her and say, hey, look, you might want to chill out on this. We got married. It didn't work. Okay, cool. But you might want to stop doing all of this because at the end of the day, we still got these kids to raise. Right. So you might want to chill out on talking greasy about me online because it's not a good look for you. You still had kids with me. Right. So down in me ain't gonna make you look no better. Right. No matter, even if I am a piece of shit, you gonna look like it.
Married.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I tried to explain that to her. She didn't want to listen. Cool. I started my podcast when I started talking about the truth, and on top of me telling the truth, taking accountability on my end. Oh, I'm the bad guy. All of a sudden, my podcast is being brought up in court. Like, bro, what?
Oh, shit, you made it to the court.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait a minute. And luckily, nobody major brought it up. It just kept being brought up in the paperwork. And I'm like, yo, I'm not calling you out your name. I'm not saying nothing derogatory about you. I'm telling the truth. I didn't even say you did any. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth on both ends, not just your end or my end. Right. Both. I'm not playing victim. I'm just being neutral with the shit. I know where I messed up and I know where you messed up. That's it. So, but it became a problem because I guess I took away the light that she had from being the victim.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn.
We're about to tag Q in.
Yeah.
So he can tap in on today's topic. So
Q coming in.
Yep, Q coming in, y'all.
Yeah.
In the meantime, if you are just tuning in, we are talking about mental health and podcasting and how it has impacted each of us individually, how we've watched it affect other people. And we're encouraging you all that if you have a topic, you have a story, you have something that you want to say, then go ahead and get down in that chat and let us know how you feeling. We may eventually get the phone number up on the screen, and then that way if you want to call in and talk to us for a bit, you can do that as well. So just go ahead and get your topic together, get what you want to say all together, and call in and talk to us, because I don't feel like
All right.
I've ever had anybody call in and talk to us before.
No.
I think we had one.
When?
We might have had 1 or 2 phone calls.
It was a long time
Yeah, it was
ago.
a while. It was a while ago. I'll give you that.
We need to talk to some people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we
Tap
go.
in, Calvin. I know you watching. You can call us.
There go Q.
Okay.
Q.
Hey.
What up, though?
What up, my guy?
Well, that's the clearest
Not
you
much,
ever
man.
been.
I'm in here.
Yeah, I see. That's the clearest you ever been.
Don't do that.
I
Don't do
got a
that.
new camera.
Hey, Q. Good night, bro.
Huh?
Man, you gotta relax, dog.
What y'all
Try
talking
to
about?
catch me sitting with
Yeah, YouTube. It's
It's a prank.
it's a prank on TikTok.
Ah, okay, y'all be keeping me
And
accountable.
look,
So, gotcha.
oh damn, okay.
We got a call.
Listen, hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Call you on there.
What up, though?
Hey man,
Say,
Hey,
man.
what's going on?
Not
Nothing
much, bro. What's going on?
It's our super producer,
Hey, fam.
Calvin.
What's going on?
Not much. We the show don't nobody want to call into. We the stepchild show.
Right, that's because we were always on here for like 2 seconds though, so there ain't never get a chance to call. You know what I mean? So we here for a little minute. People can call in.
Yeah, I'm glad Todd just put down the number into the scenery, and I'm about to put it up on screen so those who checking us out can always give us a call. Hey, Cal, what made you come up with this topic of today, bro?
Mental health is big in not only podcasting but just overall, especially men's mental health. With it being Men's Mental Health Month, that I'm just finding out about for real. But
Okay.
but the thing is, like, podcasting, especially now in this age, when like I guess it's still in this infancy, as you know, you might put it like that, but it's important now. It's a medium where a lot of people that didn't have voices before have voices now.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people that were quote unquote victims, they have a medium to get that out and express that, and otherwise, like, you know, they may have taken their own life, they may have done something to somebody else, you know,
Right.
but them having that vehicle is like probably something that saved everybody, including them.
That's kind of deep when you put it like that. I think a lot of people don't understand, like, just be able to have the ability to just get something off your chest helps a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether it's good or bad. You know what I mean? Sometimes people don't even have people to celebrate with. You feel me?
Yeah.
I mean, I went through a period of time where I didn't think nobody even cared what the hell I was doing. You know what I mean? I sleep in the Cass Park, and I was sitting up here like, man, motherfuckers don't even miss me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until when I finally came back to the hood, they were like, dog, where you been, bro? You know, people told me they seen you in Cass Park, you know, and they smelled me. They're like, oh, you been in Cass Park.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And then,
Not they could smell the Cass Park on you.
yeah, I mean,
You're right.
actually, I had lost the soles of my feet. I ain't had nobody on my feet. You know what I mean? So you could smell my feet through my shoes. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean,
You putting this in the book?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I went for like almost 10 weeks in the summertime. Didn't change my drawers or socks.
Wow.
You feel me?
Yeah.
It was when I finally took my shoes off. It was ridiculous.
Damn.
You feel me? And so, and it was all because I was like, well, I'm just ready to go. You feel me? And I had done this particular time. I'd probably done more of my life than most people, or I felt like most people would never do.
Right.
So I was like, I'm just ready to leave. You know what I mean? And so whatever it was going to be, it was going to be. And some people in the hood, they really stood up for me.
That's dope. That's dope.
That's what's up.
So in mental health, I can't even say it was nothing to do with dealing with mental health at that time. I think it was embarrassment. You feel me? I think due to the fact I had a hit record. You feel me?
And you could capitalize off it.
Yeah, and and I just didn't do it the right way, and I didn't have nobody to tell me. You know, I ain't had nobody to lead me the way. I mean, it's not too many of me out there. You feel me? I had a hit record, and it's not just that one record. I had like 2. I wrote a hit record. I've been in Billboard over 7 times.
I get it. So you looking at it like, dog, look at what I've accomplished, and then I end up in this predicament. I feel you. Yeah, I get it.
It was fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, that make a lot of sense.
And I was really messed up. A lot of people who one time when God told Nate, and now mind you, my office here and Nate's office next door. This guy said, "Hey man, when last time you seen Doc?" He said, "Man, he fucked up, man. He like he about to die."
Wow.
So Nate texted me like, "Hey man, just come in the door, please." And at this time, I probably gained, since the person last time he seen me, I probably gained 115 pounds.
Right.
You feel me? And I walked in, and he was talking. He looked at me and said, "Hey man, Doc." I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Man, last time I seen you," I said, "I remember on 2nd Avenue in Temple." In the store. He was like, "Yeah, man, you all right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm good." He was like, "But that was right, man. He was right across the street." I was like, "Yeah, it was," because I was in that building, so it was crazy. But just because people going through something, it's not always because of their mental. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes
So real quick, Miles, I want to ask you this: from what you was going through and how you looked at it then, just thinking about how you said you was kind of embarrassed because maybe you weren't in the position that you felt like you should have been.
Right.
If you look at it now from today's perspective, after all of the experience, would you still feel embarrassed, or would you just look at it as an opportunity to bounce back?
I would have handled it way differently, and I would just try my best to bounce back. I was basically hiding for somebody who was a killer. You feel me? I thought he was going to kill me when he seen me.
Wow.
So I was like, shit, he too scary to come over here.
What was it over?
Over a $6,500 drum machine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this definitely is book worthy.
Yeah, definitely book worthy.
And the whole thing was, I tell people all the time, everybody who you see in the street is not always bums.
No, hell no.
A lot of times they going through things, and it's not always mental.
Yeah.
A lot of things they be running from themselves.
Yeah.
They're running from their past mistakes or the mistakes they made. That's why I live by what you call a bison advantage. I don't run from the storm, I go towards it.
Yeah. Yep, I get it.
And with having that kind of a past, have you found that podcasting helps you therapeutically continuously, or help or hinder?
I think podcasting does both. A lot of times when I make jokes, it's because I'm hurt. You feel me? And a lot of people don't understand my hurt. And when I be hurt, it's easier to laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
You feel me? And it's easier to laugh at other people or see other people's perspectives through laughter. I haven't felt whole in almost 28 years. You feel me?
Long time.
Yeah, it's a long time. And there's been plenty of times I walked into this very office, and if you take a toothpick and break it in half, or not break it, just crack it, then crack another again, you know what I mean? There's some 4 pieces to where it's like just wobbly. I didn't feel like that. But when Todd or Brittany or what's your name?
My name is Tam.
Tam.
What's your name?
Can't impact him that much just to know my name.
Look, what's your no? You ain't hear what's your name, child? But just to know it's people like y'all exist and Q exists, it makes me happy and realize that things ain't that bad. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of other people got way worse stories than me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It's people that lost their limbs. You know what I mean? Their children.
Yeah.
You feel me? So where I'm like, man, that's why when I be aching and pain, I be like, man, fuck this.
And see that back to that point, man. That's why I shared my story, because I'm like, dog, I know somebody got a story worse than mine, but I want to share it to help somebody to say, okay, look, I made it past this, so can you. You know what I'm saying? So that was my whole point. Obviously, everybody didn't take it like that, but I didn't care, because I'm like, yo, I'm always down to help somebody if I can help them.
Right.
And so far I have. So I'm with it. Whoever got pissed off got pissed off. I don't care.
And sometimes being pissed off is better than being pissed on. That's for sure.
Exactly.
What you about to say, Q?
Now, I was just gonna say too, like, damn, what was I getting ready to say? Oh no, I know what I was gonna say. Now I was gonna say that like even when your situation is bad, like it's fucked up, and I ain't gonna lie, some situations can be really bad, but even in that worst time, you still something major to somebody else.
Yeah.
So even though your shit is
Yeah.
at the bottom, somebody else is still depending on you. So like, for instance, like when if you get sick, like let's say your gout return, you know how your gout be doing, and,
If it
you down bad.
the return of the gout.
Not for real, but somehow
Nah.
you make it into that studio and somebody is allowed to do their podcast that day. They
Yeah.
are more grateful for you than you were ever for yourself at that moment.
Yeah,
Even when
I
you in the
get it.
dark, like sometimes you the light for somebody else. So you just got to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Man, Q, you on it.
Yeah, that's a word. Yeah, yeah, that deserves
That's
to
a word.
run around the church.
Yeah.
So when you think about that though, I have learned that being someone's light sometimes
It can drain you.
it could drain the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't be careful, it will put you out the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's okay to say, "Hey, coach, I can't take it no more. Bring somebody else in."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Send somebody else. Bring the second string. Bring the fourth fucking string in.
It's a heavy burden to bear. There is a young lady I sent over. I don't know if it was in the chat. It was a video. Did we get the name?
Oh yeah, you want to show the video?
Yeah, it might be a good time to show this one. Y'all check this. Y'all check this out.
It's easy for us to just wake up and just start tapping in all social media networks and platforms and having a podcast. I was constantly checking and responding to you beautiful people, posting and deleting and blocking, okay? Block buttons on. Anyway, so I was, there are certain things that you have to do to keep your mental health in check. And I was deleting and blocking a lot, and I woke up every morning having to do that, right? And my month away gave me a much needed breath of fresh air. Now I'm back, calmer and more clear-minded. Setting that time in the morning for myself was a game changer for me. So I offer that gift to you. Balance the time. Set a social media schedule. Unfollow the pages that don't improve your mental health or align with what you want for yourself. It will change your whole entire life.
That's real. That was real.
All facts.
Yeah.
Facts like that.
Yeah.
And it's okay I think people be scared too. Like, I heard a lot of podcasters say things like, I got to keep going because I don't want to lose motion. Sometimes it's best to lose some motion than to lose yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, like this is gonna always be here, and whoever is your core fan base, they're gonna always remain your core fan base.
Yeah.
So you can take some time off, reset. It's okay, and come back. Whatever you got to do to reset and come back and be more consistent. Do it because
I'm off for the summer.
Yeah,
things.
Hey, look, things happen, man. I've had things happen in my life that was like crazy, and I had to take a step back. So, but at the end of the day, I know who rock with me. So, as soon as I got back on camera, boom, here they were. It's okay. It's all right to step away. If your mental ain't right, ain't nothing else gonna go right anyway. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, take that time off if you can.
And the reality of it is too, though, like we are recording and broadcasting all of our content. So when you decide to take some time off, show that rerun, my dog.
Hello.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
If you put in work like that, that means you got more than enough episodes to show again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Plan in advance. That's a great way to maintain your mental health, is to plan to have time away from doing it on a regular basis. You know what I mean? Right now, when it comes to scheduling posts and all that, you can do that. So, like I mentioned, I'm off for the summer. I'm not interviewing no more after the 22nd of June, and then I'm be back, I think, September.
Yeah.
But I got content.
Yeah, that's my plan. Look, my season 4 is over with until fall. So I'm cool.
Yep. So I do have my book event that's coming up. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't overwhelm myself with so much that I couldn't get the things that I want to get done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I know that I got a plan for this event. I got to get promo and all that marketing and media runs done. So I had to make sure that I could allocate that time. And then, of course,
Speaking of the book event, tell us about it.
Oh, well, since you asked me to expound on it, I will. So, you guys, the ICU Reading Literary Experience is coming up. And let me just tell y'all a little something about my book club. 15 years strong, okay? We have 9 core members, but we have a group online of about 3,500. So we came together to celebrate 15 years, right? So we're doing it big. We have an expo, over 40 authors, vendors. We flying in some folks, and we have some great sponsors: Fago, Better Made, Marriott, Trader Joe's, a whole bunch of places. And I'm gonna have some stuff available for y'all to check it out on my social media. Right now we're gonna be promoting it all over Podcastic and Tam Telling Tales and all of the things. And I really want for people to come out, because we are getting rid of this stigma that, you know, book readers are the ones with the glasses and they're just sitting there like this in their own, you know, weird and stuff. No,
Right.
Absolutely not. We are gonna have our boots on the ground. We're gonna be dancing. We got DJs. We got a masseuse. You know, we're gonna have the food. You know, it might be a little cocktail. All the things in books.
Well, we need to know. Maybe we need to know if podcasting can broadcast live there. I guess.
Listen. We're gonna talk offline.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk offline. It's Saturday though, August the 23rd, from 1 to 7 at the Corner Ballpark, right there in the heart of Detroit. What's that? Corktown.
Yeah.
Yep, right there in Corktown. Y'all, it's gonna be a time, okay? Because I'm just thinking back on the days when we used to throw our parties back at Plush. Y'all know it as Preva right now, but baby, back in the day, it used to be Plush, and we used to get down with the getting down. Okay,
Look what Rhea said.
I did that in the beginning. We used to come on every other week, especially in the winter, but now once a week is cool. Hold on, Rhea, because I got to get all your message.
It's cool with me. It's
cool
honestly
with me.
a form of therapy for me and G Baby. So
Nice.
Boom. Okay. So yeah, that segues me out of my conversation about the ICU Reading Literary Experience. But y'all hit my page so y'all can learn more about it. Okay,
August 23rd is actually the stroke anniversary. My stroke anniversary.
Oh, right.
I had a stroke August 23rd, 2014 at 2:00.
Okay.
Goodness.
So it was kind of that date was always triggering for me. Since then, I'm 11 years, and when they told me that they told my people, they're like, you know, stroke runs in threes, right? My people like, oh, not with him, it ain't running with 3-0. It ends, it stops right here, and thank God.
Right, and knowing you'll turn it into a threesome, so it don't matter.
Wow. And we happy you here, brother.
What's the other sounds that come on this machine? That's the one we want.
What you say, Cal?
I said we happy you here, brother.
Almost definitely.
Absolutely.
But August 23rd is definitely a rememberable date.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I was having my stroke, my client was sitting across the table from me. I told him, I said, man, I think you need to take me to the hospital. He's Mexican. He's like, what's wrong? So I think I'm having a stroke. He Googled it. He said, no, people who have strokes look like this.
Sir.
Wow.
Get me to the hospital, please.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
He did get me to the hospital. And I was doing his wife's funeral, obituary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was like, I wasn't going to leave until it got done. As soon as I hit send, he said, good. I said, his send. I said, can you take me to the hospital?
Wow.
So that's how I got to the hospital.
Okay, well, let's go around. So what are some of the practices that everybody has in place right now for how they maintain their mental health being a podcaster?
Ooh.
Todd, you're first.
You know what? I just kind of make sure that my mental is good just by practicing what I preach. That's for one.
Right.
And also just doing whatever else I can do to keep my mind right. Like I can't, if things is going sideways in my life, sometimes I can't podcast. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, my mind ain't there. So I got to make sure my mind is right most of the time I get on the mic. But sometimes my mind don't be right, and I get right just from getting on there. Depends on, it's different levels of things that I might be going through. So, but you know, other than podcasting, I'll go to the gym. I'll journal. I'll talk to people, you know, outside of me going to my therapist, you know what I'm saying? Like, I talk to other people that know me for real and can steer me in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? People that can talk to me differently than how my therapist will talk to me.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, those things help out a lot. But I mean, for the most part, like I take the tools from therapy and utilize them in just kind of like do my thing with them. You know, like I don't have to go there all the time. Like I ain't been in months because I ain't really needed to. Because I've been handling everything the way I need to. Like in my house, I'm the balance between everybody. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay, Q.
Because in my house, I am the oracle.
Okay. Listen. I like to hear it.
It's nothing wrong with that. And I tell people, when you're dealing with podcasters, you have to be really careful because we can air some shit out real quick. And you be on Front Street so quick. You be something like,
people. That's why people mad at me now.
Just talking about me.
Yeah, that's why people mad at me now.
Talk about me.
If the shoe fits.
Yeah.
Q, how about you?
For me, it's really a couple of things. I mean, really, for my mental stability, I write. So I write poetry. And then I listen. Well, I guess this is simultaneous. When I write, I listen to jazz, but I have to listen to old school jazz, like with just instruments. Like I can't do the like words or shit like that. So I have to do just the lyricless jazz, and I write poetry. But I'm gonna tell you something that I started doing when I was living in Colorado. This is some weird shit, and I don't think I've ever shared this with anybody. But I found a weird attachment to the moon. So every now and then, I use the moon as my microphone, and I speak to all the people that are no longer here. So like I talk to them through the moon. This is some crazy shit. I know it sounds crazy when I put it out loud.
It don't sound crazy. No, it don't sound crazy.
So that's how I communicate with the people that I've lost in my life, and sometimes that eases, you know.
While you playing, it sounds like this need to be a movie. Yeah.
That's actually dope.
It's actually dope because a lot of times some people say they can speak to the ancestors, right? And they be like, I know it sounds weird. I say, oh no, not with me. Not with me. Them motherfuckers fuck with me every day.
For sure.
Yeah. I talk to the ancestors.
Y'all watch Black Panther?
Right.
I like it.
I just think when it comes down to the mental health of podcasters, we need to be more careful on who we might hurt as well.
Oh yeah,
you know.
I mean, see,
Wendy Williams.
This the thing too, though. Like,
right?
Yeah, Wendy Williams definitely, but she didn't care. She needed ratings and all that other crap. Like, I hurt people unconsciously.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to hurt nobody. I was just telling the truth. And I didn't know that the truth was going. Well, I feel like the truth only hurt people that's in denial anyway.
Yeah, that's why I hate that. That's why
I'm gonna validate that. I'm gonna validate that online, Todd. I'm gonna validate that right now.
Yeah.
You've been this same brother for 10 years, man. It ain't like the 10 years I know you.
Thank you, man.
It's not. It's nothing different that you did in podcasting. You came to podcasting with the same attitude you had before you was even in podcasting.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. I really don't comment on people's stuff, but I commented on the Hungry Black Man.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
Hungry Black Man. Talking about the movie.
And then we was talking about the movie, and I was like, it's funny. He said, man, tell time he need to do more than this. But I said, here goes. I basically said, but you make a living off of tearing people down.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like if you tell somebody that the food was bad at a restaurant, or don't go there, it was unclean.
Yeah.
And you. So
okay.
Go
ahead, Tim.
She don't quite agree.
Yeah, this not even the topic for today, so I'm gonna leave it be, and I'm gonna go over to Miss Ria's comments and because she got nothing to say. Okay. She
Ria talking about legal shit.
That's right. She is on topic. Okay, she wants us.
Somebody phone up.
My bad, Ty. That's me, bro.
Okay, so Miss Rhea said, when I feel myself getting overwhelmed, I take deep breaths to center myself. Then I pray, seeking guidance on the direction I should go in next. Amen. Amen.
Right now.
And then she also said, I did that in the beginning. Oh, we put that up already. Well, she said she put that up. Put it up in the beginning. And then
she said, I didn't
hear it. Q. The mics were going in and out, but it could be my phone. Oh, she need to hear you again.
What I said?
I think she was talking about what you was doing to decompress or keep your mental right.
Talking to the moon.
Yeah,
talking to the moon. Oh,
right,
sorry.
So basically,
sorry. Bruno does it, so it's clearly okay.
Yeah, that's what it was, though. So writing poetry, listening to jazz, and talking to the people who are no longer with me, like through the moon. Like I use the moon as my microphone. It's weird. It's something that I started doing when I was in Colorado, just because I was so far from like family that like this is the way I communicated with them. I don't know, and then I just got attached to it.
That's cool though. I saw something funny. It said Detroit niggas don't go to therapy; they just go to Belle Isle and stare at the water for 3 hours.
I saw that.
Hey man, I done heard that so many times.
With a cigar.
Yeah, definitely.
It's some brown liquor.
Definitely. Miles, what about you? Before we get out of here, what you be doing? Keep your mental right.
I'm not gonna lie. I watch porn.
Okay, that's fair.
I got something.
No, I really just write or make music.
Okay, that's what's up.
I love writing. Writing is my first love.
Got you. Okay.
Yep.
That's
and I go see that bitch every other day.
Nice. Dope.
You guys just get quiet.
Hey, no.
She did not have to tell us about this porn, sir.
I'm sorry.
No, but you know what though?
He say I'm on topic, but Legal Shield does time.
Definitely. Huh?
You was about to say something. You forgot.
Oh no! I was just getting ready to say this was a great topic. Like, shout out to the producer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This was dope, man.
Yeah, shout out to everyone who is acknowledging Men's Mental Health Month.
Yes.
So thanks for bringing that to our attention. So y'all gave some good advice on the things that y'all are doing to cope and maintain.
All right, Joe, about to get out of here. Q, you want to head us out?
For sure, man. Thank everybody for checking us out. Make sure that you do like and subscribe to the Podtalk YouTube page as well as the Instagram page, Podtalk. What is it? Podtalk Podcasting.
Podtalk Podcasting.
Yeah, it is.
No, Podtalk Pod Life. I thought that's what it was on YouTube.
No, that's YouTube. That's YouTube.
Okay.
At Podtalk Pod Life. If you searching on YouTube, you can't find it. At Podtalk Pod Life on YouTube. At Podtalk Podcasting on IG.
Definitely. We out of here, y'all.
The whole gang is in the building. Now we out the building, man. This is the podcast about podcasts. Podtalk is in the building, man. Shout out to everybody listening. Make sure you like and subscribe, man. The whole crew is in here, but now we outside the building. Peace out, y'all.
Indeed.
Let's go.
Bye.
I think I hit the wrong button, y'all.
Okay.
Bye. Eventually.
All right. Drop the mic,
We
man.
going in a big word.
Good game.
But
I was there.
so we can talk our shit.
Okay, here we go.